Hi, everybody. This is Mr. Justin. I'm coming to give you our Bible reading for the week. So today's Bible reading comes from Matthew chapter 17. And this is a very powerful story to me. I think that this is one of the most profound and just incredible stories of God's presence in the Bible. And this right here is basically Jesus is with his disciples up on a mountain, and all of a sudden Jesus just has this bright light about him, and he's surrounded by Moses. He has Moses and Elijah next to him, and and then they hear this voice that's the voice of God, and just fall on their faces because they know this is the voice of God they just heard from, and that they're just immersed in the presence of God. And it is an incredibly beautiful picture to me. I absolutely love this part of the Bible. And I actually find it interesting. He tells them not to tell anybody about this vision, that Jesus tells his disciples, rather, not to tell anybody about this vision until he raises from the dead. I find that interesting, that because, why wouldn't you say something about this? It wasn't, to me, I guess, it just wasn't necessary for his ministry at the time. But it still raises a question, like, why wouldn't it be? And I don't know the answer to that, but I just find it a thought-provoking thing. And then they talk about, and it just closes out by talking about how John the Baptist was actually Elijah coming and restoring that, and that he already came in the form of or that Elijah already came in the form of John the Baptist, rather. But this story is just amazing to me because of the presence of and the power of the presence of God. And I think that that's not something to be taken lightly. That when we can feel and sense the presence of God, like, that's a privilege to feel that. And it's amazing that God gifts us with those moments. And I don't know if you've ever felt the presence of God or heard from God, felt like you've heard from God, but I know there's been moments in my life where I have. So if you think about your life and your experiences, when has been a time that you've felt the presence of God, and what was it like? For me, I remember feeling the first time feeling the presence of God in a sense just like this when I was out on my first mission trip. And it just happened to be that my first mission trip was an international one, where I got to travel to the country of Belarus and serve in a kids and teens camp there, serve with Holocaust survivors, and it was just the most incredible experience of my entire life. And you really see the face of God in everybody that you're serving, and you see the face of, it's like you're serving Jesus himself by serving the least of these, which is another part of the Bible, actually. That's something that I took great pleasure in doing that service, because I did consider it something God had allowed me to do, and he allowed me to experience him in that moment, and I grew closer to him because of that. And I think that, all of us can have that experience, and I think that it just speaks to how amazing our God is, that he allows us to have those moments with him, and that he loves us that much that he wants us to be a part of those moments with him. And think about this: where have you seen God active in the world? Like, what are those things that we can notice more about? What are those things that we can notice more about him in our everyday life? As a lot of us are going into spring break this week, we have a lot of extra downtime. Some of us are, thinking about, what are we going to do with our time off? Where are we going to go? What vacation are we going on? Or maybe we're staying at home. Maybe we're playing video games for, an entire week. I don't know what your plans are, but in any of those moments, you have time this week to think about where you might find God in the little things. And I encourage you to, actively seek the presence of God this week. And we know you have time to do it. So have a great week, everybody. I hope everybody has a great and restful, fun, fill in the blank with any word there. Fun, great spring break. I hope that you I hope that you feel refreshed from the time off, and we will see you guys soon. Bye.